Welcome back to Here for the Common Game. Today, let's talk about deck number 326. We're getting there. I'm thinking we're pretty close to halfway done with having a commander deck built of every single legendary creature that's ever made. I don't know. They still keep making more, so I don't know. It's fun. We're going to keep doing it until we get there. But anyway, Brudiclad's a 6 mana 4/4 that gives your tokens haste. Now, at the beginning of combat, you get a 2/1 mirror, and then you can choose a token you control, and all your tokens become a copy of that token. Now, I don't know about y'all, but there's one token that just absolutely clearly came into mind when I read it for the first time. Okay? Eldrazi Twin. This Joker brings in a 10/10 Eldrazi token. So I want to make all my tokens 10/10 Eldrazi's, because that seems like fair and balanced magic. Anyway, I've got pretty much cards that make tokens and then everything else. So let's go through it. First off, we got 3 lands that make tokens. Now, we've got Foundry of the Council. It's going to make 2 Thopters that we're going to turn into Eldrazi later. Of course, the Hellion Crucible is going to make us a Hellion. And then the Gargoyle Castle is going to make us a Gargoyle. Now, artifacts that produce tokens, Magnifying Glass, I don't really care what kind of tokens they are. Clues, hey, that's fine. If we need the colorless mana and we need to tap it for the mana, that's fine. If not, I'm going to tap 4 and investigate to get that clue, because Brudiclad doesn't care if it's a clue, if it's whatever it is, it's going to become whatever we want it to at combat. Of course, Whirler Maker, probably not the greatest value, 3 and 4 to activate, just to make a Thopter, but if you adjust your mind and thinking you're not making Thopters, you're making whatever the best token is you have, it's not bad. Mimic Vat. Non-token creature dies. Now, you've got to cast your Desolation Twin, so it would be really neat if you cast it and had that token and the original died, and then you just keep creating tokens that's a copy of the master, and it brings in, y'all see what I'm saying. Prototype Portal. Exile an artifact from your hand to make, and then you're just going to make copies of it. So, I don't know. Mirrorworks, you're making tokens. And, of course, they give us this Retrofitter Foundry that's like, I don't know, 3, 2, 1, 0. And you just... Although, here with this particular deck, I think we're just probably making servos and being done with it. Because there's no... Maybe... If everything else has been dealt with, we might need 1 4/4 construct just to make them all constructs, but I can't really see that going down that way. Now we got creatures that make tokens. Sharding Sphinx seems pretty good. An artifact creature, you create more artifact creatures, so this just keeps propagating itself. Now, Emrakul's Hatcher gets us 3 tokens. Now, this is a 5 mana 3/3, but it brings in 3 tokens. I don't really care what those are. Yeah, they're 0/1. You can sack them to add mana. That's fine, whatever. But odds are we're going to be getting into the red zone with some tokens. Beetleback Chief. He's 4 mana, but he brings in 2 tokens with him. Dragon Egg, of course. This may not be a bad token. If they've got, some pretty good ground support, this makes a token that flies. So that's pretty good. Of course, the Instigator is buy 1, get 1. The Nesting Dragon, also not bad, because it's a landfall ability. So you're going to make multiple tokens here. Maverick Thopterist brings 2 Thopters. Prosperous Pirates. Now this I really like. Now we're into treasure tokens. So, like I said, don't care what kind of tokens they are. Brudiclad is going to make them get up and walk like Eldrazi. Sailor of the Means. There's no D there, is there? Also for treasure, the Brazen Freebooter. Apparently there was a freebooter in every color I didn't notice. More treasure. Aspiring Aeronaut is going to bring a Thopter. The Gear Crafter is going to bring a Thopter. Mom and Dad Nalar, 2 Thopters. The Engineers bring the Thopter. The Whirler Rogue, 2. Lowell Apprentice. Now, I like the Lowell Apprentice because it happens at the beginning of combat. Of course, you're going to stack it however you want, and this ability happens every turn. So it just keeps pumping out a Thopter. Now, Thopter Assembly. There's... I almost did not include Thopter Assembly here because there's so many other ways that we are generating Thopter tokens. There's a good chance that this is just not going to fire. But it's too good not to play, and it's too themey not to play. So the Crafty Cut Purse it has flash. Now, it's horrible to for commander purposes to think about the mirror match, but when a commander set comes out, they're all extremely popular, and it's not really for the mirror match per se. How many times have somebody Elvish Promenaded on you, or how many times have just Marshall Cooed? You know, if they get tokens, you get those tokens instead, and I figure 4 mana is probably worth that. It's kind of a token gather specimens, if you would. Of course, we have a Siege Gang Commander that brings all the boys to the yard. And Mirror Battlesphere. The Mirror Ball. I mean, he comes in with 4 tokens. Now let's look at enchantments that make tokens. Now, Follow Footsteps, of course, you know, living the dream is Follow Footsteps on the Mirror Ball, but Follow Footsteps on anything is pretty good, especially like, you know, a Desolation Twin. Just saying. Dr. Spy Network. Another Thopter return. Efficient Construction. Your artifacts become buy 1, get a token. That's pretty neat. Aquatic Incursion. Do you remember me saying I don't care what kind of tokens it is? Merfolk tokens. Yeah, that's fine. They have hexproof. I can actually see this being a thing. Me at some point in time needing that hexproof so bad that I make them all 1/1 Merfolk. Now, Ride of the Raging Storm. The beautiful part here is it can't attack you. At the beginning of each player's upkeep. Now, the upkeep, they get a 5/1 token. A Trampley Haste token. Now, you can, once you go to combat, make all your tokens become this. But as the end step, they're all going to die. You got to sack them all, which may not be a thing if you end up killing a player or 2. It may be worth it. But, Goblin Assault. Getting a token a turn. Now, your goblins have to attack. And trust me, we're probably going to have some goblin tokens because we are running the Goblin Rally and the Hordling Outburst, Krinko's Command, and Dragon Fodder. I kind of peeled through those quick because they all just put goblin tokens into play. Now, Brass's Bounty. Whoa, for each land? And this costs 7 mana. This is another one of those cards that I just don't want to run out there. I don't want to play it too soon. I would love to drop my 7th land and then cast this and feel like the king of the world for having 7 treasures, and then go to combat, which Brudiclad is going to make 10/10 Eldrazi, and then swing just for the face. Call the Skybreaker. I hear 5/5 flying tokens are not bad, and you know it has retrace, so you can just keep playing this card by discarding a land from your graveyard. Wow. We have Pirate's Prize. Of course, it's going to get us a treasure. And we have Pirate's Pillage. I tried to find things that we were wanting to do anyway. We want to draw cards. We want to bounce permanent. We want to have answers. But I tried to put in cards that just had stapled on, make a token of some sort. Don't really care. Saheeli's Artistry. Is there not a better phrase in Magic than choose one or both? Wow. So, Clone Legion. I'm going to get a token of everything you've got. Now, granted, we could completely do that to ourselves. I mean, we can clone Legion our own because it's his target player, and we might actually get some more value off of it, more bodies. And then, of course, we have Tempt with Vengeance. Now, okay, a couple years ago when they did the Tempt cycle, the correct answer, if anyone plays a Tempt with anything, oh my gosh, the correct answer is no. No, no, no. The land one, the green one that fetches lands or whatever, is ridiculously overpowered because people will take the bait. And if you've got a table full and somebody says yes, well, the next person is justified. Well, they're already getting another one, so they might as well get it. It's so, just say no. Just say no. But anyway, a lot of people don't know to just say no. So we're going to get a whole bunch of elemental tokens, X elemental tokens. And then every time somebody says yes, we go get that many more. It's dumb. Now, I'm running another copy of Miss Saheeli the Gifted here because, let's face it, she makes a servo token and she creates a token that's a copy of all your artifacts when she blows up. So that's pretty good. Cackling Counterpart, of course, you know, make a token copy. We got Depths of Desire. It's kind of our boomerang, but it leaves around a treasure afterwards. And then Confirm Suspicions, because everybody wants to spend 5 mana to counter a spell and get 3 tokens. Which, in this deck, is not real bad. Now, granted, I mean, we do have real counter spells in the fact that we're playing counterspell and negate. Obviously, we are into the part of the deck that does not make tokens. Color and ramp fixing wise, of course, Manolith. The 3 Izzet artifacts that, you know, are mana fixing. Mana Prism, because why not? Soul Ring. Now, Pillage is just a good old-fashioned answer. It does mark an artifact or a land, and there are lands that can be problems. We all know that. Tidings. Yeah, Tidings is not the greatest card draw, but 5 for 4 is pretty good. Now, it ain't no Mind Spring, but I do have the Tormenting Voice and Redirect. Now, running Redirect is pretty much an upgrade to an older card that I am running. The last card is Deflection. Now, Deflection come out in Ice Age. It had, in my opinion, way better art. No shade at all to Jeremy Jarvis. He is an incredibly talented guy. I think he still works at Wizards, by the way. But this is amazing art. But Deflection was, believe it or not, when this card came out in Ice Age, there was a point in time it saw $15 because people were just, we'd never seen anything like it. Everybody was, oh, it's so great. That was back in the day when people actually played with Stream of Life. And I remember this one multiplayer game where my opponent set my hand with a Jester's Mask. He gave me a new hand and gave me 3 Stream of Lives. I did not know he had 3 deflections. He handed me my hand and said, be nice. But anyway, that is what I've got for Brudiclad. I'm all in on this, making the tokens and trying to make them as big as possible, preferably that Eldrazi token. Oh, shoot. Now that I think about it, you know what needs to be in here? Oh. It's an artifact from way back, Phyrexian Processor. Here. Okay, I'm going to have to go to Tapped Out and edit the deck list, because as much as I love Deflection, it's gone. It's gone. Phyrexian Processor is the truth. Because really all you're worried about, yeah, it's going to cost you some life, but it's going to make a gigantic minion, and that's what you're going to... It gives you another giant token to make a copy of. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully I have remembered. I have an intention, since this is the last card, maybe my memory won't be too fuzzy, and as soon as I stop recording, I'll go to Tapped Out and edit that deck list. So I'm going to leave my deflection right there. Anyway, like I said, I do appreciate y'all watching. Sorry about that impromptu change in there. I just had forgot all about the processor. But that's what I've got. Right now, I think we're going to shuffle and cut.